So we're here for the protest workshop number 1, and we're going to be reviewing about how to get the comps, looking at the comps, the difference between market value, equity value. And I was talking to Leslie earlier on the phone, so I told her to jump on so we could talk about her house and how to look at the comps and all that, since we were going to be reviewing that on this workshop. So I had told her to go to my page, and I'm going to show you my page, teamduffy.com/protest, and you go down to the request the tax protest sheet. You just fill in your information, and then it will show you the page that we have the MLS protest links. If you see the little arrow here and the little hamburger, that's just the outline. Because I went ahead, I had several different links to everything, but I had so much information, it was too many links. So I just put it all onto one page. Let's see. Why is that not? I was trying to see if it's showing us on Facebook, but I can't tell if that is on. So hopefully they're able to see what I'm showing. Okay, so the comparables. So I have a list of all the different subdivisions, and these I've just added as people have asked me, you know, for the comps. And I know that I had asked you about if yours was on here. To get to the comps, if you just go to my protest page, it's teamduffy.com/protest, and sorry, here it is. And then you just click on the cheat sheet, fill out your information, and then it will bring you to all of the comps here. So I did make a little video on kind of how to, you know, how to look at all this. But really, if you, in the past, I just sent people the one-liner comps and, you know, and circled it. But then I had a lot of people say, well, I don't know if that house looks like mine and all that. So that's why I kind of did it this other way. But so these are the comps. We'll just open up, you know, one of them for Brookstone. So this is what all the comps look like. Let me get that out of the way so I can zoom in. Here we go. Okay, so you'll look up for your subdivision, you know, so after you fill out that form on my protest page, then you'll see this, and just go to the shared folder. And then in the shared folder, you just find your subdivision and then click on it. Now this has the closed prices for all of these properties. And unfortunately, it can't, Texas is a non-disclosure state, so we can't send all of the information on a house with the closed price on it. So that's why I had to do it that way. Because then if you go down, let's see, we were on Brookstone. So if I click here on Brookstone, then I can see all of the, not just the one-liner information, I can see everything else about the house. So then you could pick out which ones, you know, that you want to use. Can y'all still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're looking at, you know, Brookstone. Here's the comps, you know, that we pulled up, and then we clicked on the other link, and these are all of the properties. So if you're looking, you're like, oh, well, it says the sold price there. This is the last list price that was in the MLS. So it doesn't show the, it doesn't show the sold prices. That's why we had to do it this way. But anyway, so you can go through here and find, there's different ways you can look at it. You can have it where it's, you know, all the comps are like this. You can export it if you would like to do that and to pick out the ones, but most of the time you can go through your own neighborhood and see the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and then grab the ones that are closest to yours. So, you know, like if I want to say, okay, that one, so I'm going to add that to my 3, comps that I'm going to pull. So now it says I have 3. So then I'm going to go up here and just say compare, and then it will show me those 3, comparables and all the information on it. So you could just print this for your protest, and then you would just have to match up the address with the actual sold price on here, and then those would be your comps.
How many should you choose?
3 to 5 is typically, what they say, because you want to go through the comparables and, tell them why it matches yours or doesn't match yours. So if you're, if you have 20 of them, then it's very difficult to go through and
yeah,
to go through all that. So go to the protest on my website. You'll get to this, and it's a Google Docs. So I can, as people are asking me for different subdivisions, I've just been adding them in, so it'll constantly change. But if you can't, if I went through that too fast, you can always watch this video, and I show you again, how to do the one home, how to look at the different, different properties. You can go to, I'll show you real quick before I'm out, but so when you're looking at it, you can look at it on the map as well. And we can only save on the link here, 50 comparables. So if I had to knock any of them out, I knocked out the really high ones. But anyway, so you can see, like, if you're like, okay, well, I live here, so I'm going to pick all these that are, in my subdivision, and you can come over here and look at, see what they look like. And so when you're looking at so this is last year, but the e-file system is pretty much the same. Now this video here that I'm showing you is also, everything is on this this Google Doc, the MLS protest link. So this is where we just were. And actually, I think I showed before you came on that you can click over here for the little outline, and you can jump to different parts of the document. And it has it all here, but anything on here is going to, if there's a video, it's going to link back to my YouTube page. So this, I just walked through the actual filing, what you want to say, and so y'all can go back and actually I'll play a little bit of it. Okay, so you can go back through and look at this. It just talks about when you're filing, how to do all that. But on this, back to this same page, it has that information as well. So main thing I wanted to show you guys today is because a lot of people are like, okay, should I even, file a protest when the prices of everything are so high? So when you're looking at your, what you got from the appraisal district saying what your new value is, if you look right here, it's telling you what your last year is, and then it's saying what, this year, obviously this is from the previous year, but so you can see on your own, what the market value and appraised value is. So when you're going in and you're fighting it, you think that is this number here, the market value, but you're actually needing to beat the assessed value. And most everyone will have the homestead exemption, so you have a cap of 10%, so it can't go more than 10% than from the previous year. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the comparables. It's not that, oh, I have to beat the 440, it's I have to beat the 358. So what would happen is you go in, you do your protest and say, they go, okay, 25,000 off or 20,000 off or something like that. And then they'll send you this little thing here saying, okay, this is what we did. This is what the conclusion was of it. And you can move all this stuff out of the way. So you can see here that the market value that is 440,811. So this is what it was proposed, and then this is what the final, after the protest hearing and everything was finalized, it was 425. So you're thinking, okay, great, I got a little bit, I got a reduction. But then when you look at your total, assessed and appraised, with your homestead, it's the same, 358, 358. So the property tax that you pay on hasn't changed. It's still the same. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at, these comparables up here, that if it's, if you're way off of that, here, let me jump to one of them. Actually, I think I decided that one needs to change anyway. Here, let's pull up this one. Okay, so if I'm looking at the numbers, here, the closed price, and so I pick, 3 of them, and then we go through, and it ends up being way off, from the number, compared to my, look at your subdivision and your information, then it probably would not be in your best interest to waste your time in doing the protest. Now, there's other things that you can go in for and protest if your house needs repairs and different things like that. Then that could be a reduction as well. And if you're really not sure after you've gathered, this information, and but you have your repair list and all that stuff, you want to go call them and either go in or schedule. I did have several that said that they said to go ahead and schedule the informal hearing, and that's where you just go and you meet with the appraiser. So it's just one person. When you call, and it doesn't matter if you're in Collin County or if you are in Denton or Dallas or whatever, it might be different, where the informal hearings, they might say, no, you need to just come in, and some will say you have to schedule. Now, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they, Collin County, and they had them schedule an appointment to go in. So when you go in, it's very informal. You're just meeting with one person, so it's a lot more relaxed, but that one person can also make all the decisions, just like the board would. So you want to still have, your evidence and your information with you, when you go in, because you're only going to get to go on. You're sitting there. So in Collin County last year, it was private, so you would wait outside the door in a little chair, and then you would go in, and everybody was separated by plexiglass, and then everyone has their own computer. So when you go in there for the formal hearing, and you take everything in. So then you sit there and present your case. In Denton County, it was pretty much the same last year, except for there wasn't any plexiglass, but everybody had their own computer. And then before, like several years, before COVID, it was public. So you would go in to meet the panel and sit there, and there'd be 3 rows of people, homeowners, waiting to protest as well. So it's kind of nice that it's more private now. But if you want to listen to, to my hearing, and I actually put the one from Denton County as well. And this was from last year for Denton County. And this, we did get a huge reduction, and it was mainly because there's a federal tax code that says that you can, if it's a manufactured home or a mobile home, that you can only give it a value of $5,000. So because of that, we got the reduction. But you can, like I said, you can go and I think, let's see, and then this is just the workshop I did from last year. So anyway, if y'all want to go look at any, this is the video when you are actually going in, to do the e-file, and then I walk through it as well, on that protest link. So it's just under filing the protest. So pretty much it's the same thing as the video. I just have it written out on, how to do it.
Mhm.
I mean, one of the main things that you want to do is obviously do it before your deadline, which is 30 days after the day that they mailed it. And I don't know if anybody's on from Dallas, had somebody broke into their system. It was hacked, and like for several months they were down. So I think they might not have even sent it out yet. I'm not in Dallas County, so I don't know. But Collin County, they did send theirs out when they were supposed to. So we've got them. I got mine on April 15th. So you get 30 days after that. So you have to make sure that you go to the e-file. You can also print out the form if you want to and mail it or take it in. But it's a lot easier to do this. But some people like just printing it. So I put the link there if you want to print it and take it in. So when you're filling it out, though, you have to make sure that you're checking both for the market value and the unequal appraisal value. You want to check this one here that says market and equity value is unequal for the comps. And you're going to bring comps for both the market value, which is what I just provided, and then also for the unequal compared to your neighbors. And from what I've heard, the equity one is a lot of times you win more with that one than you do on the market value, which seems kind of strange to me, but state law is that if a homeowner can prove on either the market or the equity, that it's off, that they have to take the lowest value of the two. So that's why they have to do that. And it's kind of going through that process is, it's kind of similar to this, but you can look at it on several different places. But the best place to get that comparable, and I'm going to go into this Saturday more in detail, but is through the actual board. So when you go in and you do your e-file, you request the evidence from them, which is those comparables. So, and I have that down in here as well. So this just goes in about the protest, but the evidence. So downloading the district's evidence. So this is what they have to provide to you. And if they don't, then they actually can't use any of those comps for that value. So pretty much whatever you bring in is going to be what they have to go by if they don't give that to you. But they're pretty smart now, and I think most of the time they already have the evidence on there. So, and that's what I was showing you on the walkthrough video, and I have it down there too. But let me see if I can find the clip where it has it. Yeah, so this is pretty much what most of the sites look like. And after you file, you need to keep going back into that, and you'll see different things that you can click on and download, and one of them is the evidence. So it's not just you uploading the evidence to them, it's you getting, see, this is when I'm showing you how I uploaded mine. But like I said, I'll go over that Saturday, because before then I haven't gone into my e-file yet. Been getting everything together for this, but I'm going to and record it. So I'll go out and all that before I post it live. But so I'll go through again with getting their evidence and how you pick that out. Let's see, lower this, it's so big. Okay, but in the protest cheat sheet, I go into detail about all that and about how to find it and how to do the comparisons. And it gets really complicated. They've done a little bit better job the last couple of years with giving us information, with how they're even coming up with the value. But it's just so much that it's hard to look through and figure out exactly even what you're looking at, because just to know that there's two different values for one is confusing in itself, that we're talking about the market value of your house, we're talking about the equity value of your house, and then the assessed value. So, that's why if you just go back to this document and then again, just look at those numbers up here, on what you're looking for, what you're comparing. And then I've got the evidence broke down here so you can, jump to it, and how you download then different comparables, and then how you calculate it as well. And like I said, we'll go over that on Saturday. But definitely do the informal hearing. Here's the different websites for the different counties. This is the main page for Collin, but like I said, Denton County and all of them will be pretty similar. So you can go through and do the property search your county, then you put in your address, and then it'll show you all your tax information, and you can actually look at your neighbor's information there for part of this evidence. But looking at the comparables takes a little bit longer, so that's why I figured I would do that on Saturday and take a little bit more time to go through it all. And they, when we're talking about the hearings as well, they, they're timed. So 5 to 7 minutes. So 5 to 7 minutes is not very long, to give your evidence. I don't know. I think I went well over that. I mean, it's 33 minutes long. So obviously I did.
So e-file is not something when you're talking about e-file, I always think, well, that will be on the computer, but you actually go in to the office?
No, you do. You e-file, you can either go to the e-file site, and fill out all that information, and it's this here.
Yeah. Okay.
And here is it here for Collin County. But you can print it out and take it in. You don't have to. You can do it online, which I would do it. I would definitely do it online. It's a lot easier. And
then just print it and take it.
Well, no, if you do it online, then you don't have to actually print or do anything. So it's only if you don't want to do it online that you would need to print and do this. So, that's why I said if you'd rather fill in the form, you can print it. But I was showing here because when you pull up the e-file site, it's going to in some way ask you this question about the market and the equity value. Mm-hmm. And since we haven't really gone into that yet, but you definitely want to say both. And, because it's, like I said, because the equity value is what a lot of times you'll be able to win on more than the market value. But when I went to Denton County and did theirs, I guess they're just more relaxed because, I had it separated. And I think I put in here, hearing day. So I had it separated into the market value and the equity to present, my comparables. And, obviously once you present, if you have repairs and things, you only need to do that once, but the comparables. But when I was in Denton, they just wanted me to group it all together and hurry up and get through. So, and I don't know if that was just them, but then also it took a lot longer in Denton because we had all the evidence on a thumb drive because they have a computer. And, when you go into Collin County, you either upload all the evidence on the e-file site, or you take it all in and then they scan it in for everybody. But when we went to Denton County, they didn't have that. So we had the thumb drive and she was like, oh yeah, they can pull it up on that. Well, when we got into the actual hearing, they couldn't. So I was fumbling through the whole thing, trying to, find the comps and all the other stuff. So that's why I suggest, learn from me and print everything out and maybe even 2 copies of it.
Right.
It's no fun when you're there and then you can't find, you don't have any of the information. But, I've done it several times, where, it's all there on the computer, but then it's also the way that you upload it. So if you upload it all out of order, then you might not, you're sitting in front of the computer, you don't know where it is. You're, kind of jumping all around. So that's why it's good just to print a page, for your eyes that has, okay, these are the comps, this is the value. But anyway, then on Saturday too, I'm going to talk about because a lot of us might not be able to, get the value lowered this year. So we're either going to, go into it with that we're paying more, or, we write emails to all of the entities that tax us and, tell them that, hey, our value went up, and we expect for you, as our elected officials to lower the tax rate, or, keep that in mind with your budget and lower that to offset this increased price for us. And that is just as important, if not more important, than fighting our values. And I think somebody said something like 100,000 people had done a protest, but then like 10 people showed up at the hearing for the tax rate and the budget. So, I mean, I didn't show up either, but I emailed them. So Saturday, I'm going to have the whole list for, the different counties. I mean, it's, they've done really good last year they implemented this truth and, what do they call it? Let's see, can you see this page?
Yes.
Okay. So the property tax transparency in Texas. And so, I was really excited. I was like, oh, okay, great. They have like all this information, like the elected officials and all that. And, not going to have to go search for it, but I'm still waiting for someone to get back with me about where it is, because the information that they have, darn, I'm sorry. This is why I was going to do this on Saturday too, because I have to put my address in. So I need to record it, but you can go to that. And I have that linked in on this page as well, but it goes through and it just shows you exactly where the money is going for each, for the school. So you put in your house, and then it shows exactly how much, for your house is going for school taxes and for everything else. And it also shows you the rate, the tax rate that was set, what was proposed, what was agreed upon, who voted for the increase or the decrease. And then it gives you a contact, but it's just one email contact. It's not to each elected official, which I think is what we need to do. So,
yeah.
But I do have a link to that on my protest page. I think all the way at the bottom. Yeah, contact here. So a lot of these people are still the same, but this is from a year ago. So, but I thought it was kind of neat though, on that transparency, that you can see who voted for what, So
yeah,
that's pretty interesting. So anyway, so hopefully you can come on Saturday, and I'll talk more about, about the rules that they, look at when you're looking at comparables. Because I was kind of surprised that, that they didn't, I was trying to say, well, you're comparing my 3-bedroom house to a 5-bedroom house, and that's not comparable for market value. Obviously
right.
My house is worth less. And they were like, oh, that doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, it does. It really does.
Kind of, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are certain rules that, and when it comes to bedrooms, they don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't know why. And there's, I have a longer list than this one here on the Google Docs of all the problems with our taxing system. So hopefully they'll fix a little bit at a time. But anyway, so hopefully y'all chime in on that.
I'm going to be out of town on Saturday. Is there a place where will it be something I can look up and view later?
Yes.
So presentation.
Hopefully this was recorded, and I'll put it on. I'll put it on Facebook, and okay. And if y'all have any other questions that you want to, text me or email, outside of being on live, then feel free to. I should put my number or something up here somewhere, but I think y'all, where my sites are. So, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is Jean. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks, Jean. Okay.